Did you know that it only takes one patriotic leader, influencer, or politician to present our constitutional rights, and all of this would stop tomorrow? All of it would end. But the question is, why are they choosing to withhold this information from you? From any of you that recognized me last year, I was the lady that put together this petition. It took me a little while because I had to petition due to the amount of corruption that is going on in government. However, it got out that I was putting this petition together, and somebody had sent it to this man here, who then contacted me asking me to come down as a guest to his march last year. So at the time, we thought this was great because we needed 100,000 signatures and just to gain awareness of our constitutional rights, and we knew that there'd be around 100,000 people at his last march. So I agreed and I went down there and I met up with his whole crew and him himself. So I got put in a group chat, and I got asked to go there a bit early to obviously get my layer, whatever it called, your little badge, so I could go backstage. And I met with Tommy. He seemed nice enough man. And we spoke for a bit because obviously I'd already discussed to him the petition and how important it was. And he promised me that, yeah, no problem, you can go up so you can alert the audience while they're at the march about this petition. So I was like, okay, perfect. So we were waiting, and while I'm waiting, I thought, I don't want to just sit here doing nothing. I'm going to start talking to the crowd and the public and letting them be aware of this petition and explaining to them our constitutional rights, because many people don't know what our constitutional rights are. So once I was explaining it to them, they were more than happy to sign. So I remember it being a really hot day. It was really hot. It was like the sun was out, and I was mainly at the front talking to people about the petition. And while I was at the front, I was noticing that the people that were there who are claiming for change and well-known influencers that were coming in, some of them I didn't know who they were, and my friend was telling me, oh, this is, and others I did. I've recognized them. I've seen them, I'm going through my TikTok account or YouTube, I have seen them before. But what was unsettling me was there was a bit of a Z-list celebrity vibe going on, and it was all about taking pictures and PR and media and signing autographs and looking sharp and looking good, and it was really agitating me, not agitating me, but dimming my spirit, because I went there in high hopes of this petition, because this does mean a lot to me due to me being Christian, and obviously I know that a lot of this is about getting rid of the Christian faith, and being a Christian means a lot to me. And I also know that there's a lot of fake Christianity out there, and I know a lot. I've always said that in my lives. And so I wasn't liking that tone that it was coming with. It was coming with a celebrity, look at me kind of show it was becoming. And it was putting a bad taste in my mouth. And then I started also noticing that it was only the public and the crowd that were interested in my petition. The people that had the power to do anything about the petition, knew about the petition, were kind of eyeing me up, but wouldn't come near me and weren't interested in the petition. And it was kind of making me quite perplexed, because I was kind of naive to the fact, thinking, oh no, they're claiming for change, they want change. Wouldn't they be more trying to drive this petition up? Because we could end all of this tomorrow. But for some reason, the vibe I'm getting isn't the vibe I was expecting to get. So more things happened, but long story short, after the march, when he decided to go off and, we never got able to put a petition up, I didn't stop there. I started reaching out to other influencers, and every single one that we reached out ignored us and ignored the petition. They knew what the petition was, we'd explained it in the email, and they were choosing to ignore it. Now, I'm going to say now, this is the reason why I'm not going this year, because I don't want to believe that these people are bad people and they're in it for their own reasons and they're doing it for notoriety, even though I know people that are gaining a platform are doing it for notoriety, and some admit it and some don't, because you need to remember that some people are just jumping on the bandwagon for followers, and they are more interested in the money and greed side of it than actually change. And so that was very hard for me last year to realize that not all that glitters is gold. And while I was there, I noticed that people were chanting his name, this Tommy, Tommy, Tommy chant. If he was a Christian, he would know that is a form of idolatry, and we are not there to worship Tommy. We are there to worship Christ, because we are fighting for the flag. We're not fighting for Tommy. And there's a form of idolatry that is going on, and it's being used under the name of Christ. And so for me, I didn't really take to it. In my eyes, Jesus does not like the fact that people are doing business in his name. And that is what is going on, because there is, for some reason, these leaders, these influencers, and these politicians could just stop this all tomorrow just by using our constitutional rights. And they are aware of it, because Tommy was the one that contacted me. I never contacted him. So he is aware of our constitutional rights, and he keeps making you go to these marches, and he's kind of, I've given him a year. I've watched him for a year to see, is he going to mention it himself? Is he going to try and get notoriety for it? You get notoriety for the petition if you want your ego fed so badly. Nothing. Never heard about it. So if you're so... And Katie was another one. We emailed her about our constitutional rights, and I have verified this petition with many people, and we would be able to take it to Parliament. The only problem is many people would be done for treason. But apart from that, for the English people, if we use this petition and got it out to Westminster, all of this would stop tomorrow, and a lot of people would get arrested. But apart from that, I want to know, my question is why are you all ignoring it? I want to know why you're ignoring our constitutional rights. Why did you ignore the petition? Why did you call me down anyway and you're aware of it? And why is it when we sent it over to Katie Hopkins and Tommy, you have both chosen to ignore it, but then you claim that you want your country back? However, you're still ignoring the petition, ignoring our constitutional rights, putting these marches together that you're getting paid for, and all I'm seeing is your followers go up and up and up and up, and you've got merchandise and you've got all of this stuff. But when there's an answer, you go quiet. Is it because bad news sells? And there's another person, I reached out to, this guy, Corkscrew. We reached out to him, he saw it, he told my friend he's going to get back to us about it, and he ignored it. I didn't know much about him. I went on his page, I watched him on a live, and he was just there decorating his house, obviously just getting gifts and gifts and gifts. Wasn't interested, but they are all claiming how much they want this change. But what they're doing is they're getting notoriety out of the bad news, because if we do put a stop to this, what are they going to do for a living? So that's how I feel about it, and I don't want to feel about that. So my question is to you, both Tommy and Katie, because I don't want to get you wrong. Why are you not allowing the English nation, and the British nation I should say, because but let's just talk England, about our constitutional rights, and you are aware of them because I have spoken to you, and you have pushed it aside, and you're putting together these things where you're just being worshipped, and you're not telling them. I want to know why, because I've been quiet for a year now and still nothing. I would also like to know why Corkscrew, whatever, got back to my friend, said he'd get back to him, and he never heard from him ever again. If you are so concerned. And because I've sat there and watched a few of Katie's videos, and she seems to get excited about giving bad news. It's like, what's happening now in that, whatever she calls it, Britain? Because every time there's bad news, her followers are going up, which means her bank account's going up. But does she actually want change? Because if we end up eradicating all of this with our constitutional rights, what are you going to talk on? What news will you have? Because your news is bad news. Your job is expressing bad news. So if we do get an answer, what are you going to do? And I hope that is not your mindset, and I hope that is not what you're doing, and I don't, and if I am, I will apologize and I will eat humble pie, but I need some answers. Like I said, God does not appreciate people doing business in his house, so I really hope you're not telling people what they want to hear with no solution, because one thing that I did ask once I left the march last year is, what is the point in the marches? What are they? And you can't use the excuse that they're spreading awareness, because we have social media, so it's being spread everywhere what's going on. You don't need the march, so you're having to spend money on these marches. What are they for? How are they helping? Like, nothing's changing. You've done a few of these now and nothing's happening, and it's like you go there and people are telling me, oh, this year you better be careful, and I said, because they're scared that something could happen. I said, this is what they done last year. It's just smoke and mirrors. It's the same thing they done last year. They made everybody to watch themselves and be careful because something could happen, and and it never did, and it was the same thing. And there's not actually anything coming from them. It's just, there's no, oh, we done it and then this changed, or nothing. You're just going again the year after, and you're doing again, and you're all going there worshipping him. Like, Tommy. It's just worship, and he's taking it in, and he's taking it in, and his ego's getting fed. And then after the marches, all you do is, then it's about him and his arrest and what happened, and he flew to Spain, and then he come back, and it was nothing to do with breaking, like, England getting its sovereignty back at all, and what the next stage was, and what the next answer was. It's more, what I'm seeing is the Tommy shirt. Did you know that it only takes one patriotic leader in...
Afternoon, people. Hope everyone's good. Now, I'm going to put a link to that video, that person's channel, etc. By all means, check it out for yourself or whatever. Now, it's one of them, innit, realistically. It's took Tommy and others to wake people up to the point where we are now, where you've had a couple of million people turn up in support with all the right intentions. People can see the problems now for themselves. It's all over the gaff. You cannot not know the problems. There's problems on all fronts or whatever. Now, it's one of them. Everyone's going to watch that. Everyone's going to watch that video that you've just seen now, and everyone, you know what I mean, is going to have their own opinions. By all means, drop a fucking comment or whatever. Put your opinion or whatever. Take the video, do whatever you want with it. Do you know what I mean? We should now, at this point in time, 2025, be looking for solutions. There's enough people now awake. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, fucking, you know what I mean? You could have said, oh, you know, there's not enough people, blah, fucking blah. We still need to wake people up, this, that, the other. Yeah, okay. But now, 2025, you've just literally witnessed millions of people awake enough to go to London, despite all the usual things put on it. Oh, you know, you're going to get highlighted for this, you're going to get highlighted for that. There might be terrorist plots, there might be this, might be that. Everyone turned up regardless. People are more asked about the problems that they can see with their own eyes, to the point where they thought, fuck it, I'm turning up, I'm supporting whatever anyway. Now this year we've had people from pretty much all fucking colours, all races, whatever. On all accounts, do you know what I mean? A very successful demonstration, march. I'm not going to use the word festival, because festival implies like there's something to fucking celebrate or something. There's nothing to celebrate, so I'm not going to use that word. I don't know why it was given that fucking word or whatever, but we are where we are. There's enough people from all different races, ethnicities, whatever you want, call it what you want, whatever. This year, just gone, the 13th of September, shown that actually, you know, there's people from all walks of life that can see the same problems, and you can actually see that there is signs of unity or whatever. only little building blocks there or whatever, things that you can actually all agree on and whatever. The one thing that, after speaking to many people this year alone or whatever, is the fact that everybody that I've spoken to, everything that I've listened to, everything whatever, the one thing that we can all stand on together and unify in is that we all blame the government. Now, it's one of them, innit? They can ignore, and they still will ignore, don't matter. I mean, okay, we had a few million this time or whatever. You could have 10 million, you could have 20 million and whatever. They're still going to ignore it. They do not care. They have a plan and they will stick to that plan. Now you can say New World Order, you can say whatever you want, do you know what I mean? Everyone's got different theories or whatever. Some people have looked over documents that show you that there kind of is some sort of New World Order or whatever behind everything, and this, that and the other theory, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, do you know what I mean? We are the people, we are governed by consent. Some people will understand, some people won't, or whatever. Now, there's been many people ringing the same fucking alarm bell and showing people this is this is the solution for everybody. Don't matter if you're black, white, brown, fucking green, yellow, fucking whatever. Makes no fucking difference or whatever. If you are a British born citizen, this is something that includes you or whatever. Now, I am aware that Tommy and others and whatever have been kind of like shown these things, and it wasn't just last year, it goes back. Now, like that lady's just said or whatever, it seems to be the same case or whatever, where, oh yeah, we're interested, and then it just gets fucking put aside, ignored, whatever. Now, I'm not saying that people are just in it for the money or something and whatever, but I think to be honest, she's worded it very well, so I'm not really gonna add my opinion to it. I'd like your opinion on it. Now, when you've got many people awake to this shit now, and people are actually looking for unity, I would have said 2 years ago we wasn't at that position where people was looking at unity. There was still a lot of divisions. It still is now, but there's a lot less now, and people are looking for unification on something, and people are actually all agreeing that it is the government at fault. They are bringing us the problems, then bringing us the solutions that they wanted to implement anyway. Now, it's one of them, innit? This really should separate the patriots, genuine fucking patriots, from the fake, from the fucking fake triots or whatever, which do you know what I mean? They're just out for the money or whatever, out for the notoriety, out for the fucking, for themselves it seems or whatever. Now, I'm not even pointing any fingers, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? Maybe people have seen it, not understood it enough to run with it, but when you've got people around which are willing to be, when you've got people around willing to put themselves out there and are not looking for a single fucking penny, they're just literally bringing you the solution, and saying, well, you know, I don't need to be the face of it, I don't need to make a penny from it, I would just like to give the solution to the people, I think they should be fucking given the fucking opportunity to do so, to be fair. Now, many people would have heard me say, well, you know, if you're looking for a solution, CMW's the people to look at or whatever. CMW have been around for fucking years and years and years, and they've done everything that they've done. Never put a fucking grift button out, never fucking asked anyone for donations, point blank refused donations and this, that and the other. And loads of people have said, oh, you know, if you're going to do this and you're going to do that, you need to, you know, you need support from the public, you need to be asking for this or asking for that or taking donations and whatever. And point blank, CMW have said no, you know, because all of a sudden you're a PayPal patriot, this, that and the other. They don't want that negative attention or whatever. And I get it, I totally get it or whatever. So for me, that movement, CMW, constitutional worldwide fucking movement, it's literally basing everything off actual law. Do you know what I mean? Things that you can't fucking, do you know what I mean? It can't be argued, it can't be ignored, it can't be dismissed. That's what all law is founded on or whatever. Now, it's just one of them, innit? Ask yourself the question, why is it not being applied? Why is it not being pushed realistically? Now, I've always said, do you know what I mean? I don't idolise anybody. I don't do idols, I don't do gods, I don't do fucking any of that shit or whatever. So for me, it's quite easy to just separate one thing from another and just run, you know what I mean? Run with what's right, run with what's fucking should be put out there. It's one of them, there's enough people now awake to the problems. We now need solutions. Now, for anybody, this is my opinion, for anybody at this point in time, right now, to be ignoring any possible solutions, you've really got to sort of like look at them and be able to critique the situation in general or whatever, and come up with your own, you know, your own theory or whatever. Why would people that have been ringing the alarm bell for so long and whatever ignore the solution? Does it come down to, well, yeah, does it come down to, well, what would they do after that? Would they have to go and get a job or something? I don't know. Now, I know just by putting this shit out, I'll get a few haters, this, that and the other. I could not give two fucks. I could not give two fucks in any way, shape or form. Now, it's one of them, innit? There's enough well-known people, there's enough well-known faces and other communities with power and whatnot, the auditing communities, etc., especially. Do you know what I mean? What's your opinion on this? Should we be exploring lawful solutions at this point in time, or are we just gonna fight over, oh, which party should we vote for? Oh, let's vote Reform. No, let's vote Advance. No, let's vote. Fuck that shit. Realistically, you can vote whoever you want in, and it's not going to achieve fuck all. It's not going to change fuck all. It's not going to do fuck all. So at that point, it's like, would we not rather just fix the problem? And you can all carry on fucking voting for these shit cunt parties or whatever. You can all do that afterwards. You can argue. There's loads of things you can all argue and squabble about, and fucking team A, team B, fucking blah blah blah. It's neither here nor there. I'm not concerned about any of that. I'm looking for lawful solutions. You've now got people like revving up, oh, civil war, blah blah blah. Yeah, civil war will come if solutions aren't found. Now, I've said this from fucking day one. We should be now exploring the lawful solutions. I've tried it with many people and whatever, and we always seem to get sidetracked with some other bullshit. Oh, this one did this, someone said that, blah fucking blah. I just think it's time we hit reality and deal with the problems in the most lawful way possible. And I can't, you know what I mean, for all the time that I've been around, for all the people, different groups that I've spoke to and whatever, people like CMW have been saying this for countless years, pretty much the same amount of time that Tommy's been around. Do you know what I mean? And there was people pointing shit out, pointing the same things Tommy's pointing out before Tommy. And we're still at this point now where we're just ringing the alarm. Now, to be fair, for the amount of people that was there, I think it went pretty well. Yeah, there was some problems, but I think the police instigated some of that, or the majority of that. Yeah, there was a few instigators from fucking the Nazi lot or whatever. That's expected. Do you know what I mean? They try that shit all the time. They tried it in Telford. They've tried it a few times or whatever. That's expected. The police, fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying all of them. You know, some of them would have wanted to join the job to protect people, especially kids, this, that and the other. Some, not so much. Now, that's all I can say realistically. Do you know what I mean? Look into it yourself. If you've got any questions, I'm going to put a link to CMW's channel, Nathan Curtin, Gary Clark. I'm going to put a link so you can contact them for yourselves or whatever. I am aware that generally they will, you know, if there's something put together and people want to actually go into it and look into it more and ask questions and whatever, it's never been an issue. It's one of them, innit? We just need to be at that point now where we can look at the problems and look at the lawful ways to deal with it. The moment we do that, we can hold people to account. It was CMW that went and did the citizen's arrest on Sadiq Khan and that wanker Keir Starmer fucking years ago or whatever. Now, only because, again, so-called patriots didn't get behind it, didn't support it. The CPS, the police did their job, credit where due. They did their job or whatever. They said, yep, there is charges there, there is fucking, you know, it is law, it is actual law that you're using, this, that and the other. Some of them are old laws, this, that and the other. And it went as far as CPS, and CPS decided, I'll put a link to that video as well so you can see for yourself. The CPS decided that there weren't enough public interest. Now, there may well not have been at that point in time. You're going back a good few years or whatever. Things have changed a lot. there is public support, there is people that actually give a fuck now, and these things can be pulled back out the bag, but there would be no point unless you can get the support of the public. Now, I think we're at that point in time now where we could achieve that. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. There's a lot more support now than there ever has been. And you're going to have millions that, you know, maybe wanted to turn up, but for one reason or another didn't turn up and didn't want to be tarred with a brush. Oh, racist, far right, fucking blah, all these bullshit labels. You would have had many people that would have turned up, but was just a bit cautious. You may have had many people that would turn up, but they're unable to through, you know, different variations of disabilities and this, that and the other. So realistically, you're talking fucking, you know what I mean, absolutely millions of people which would get behind something where, you know, you've got no chance of anybody painting you with a fucking brush that you don't deserve. It's one of them, innit? It's the fucking law. It's the law. And it would account to scumbags being charged with fucking all sorts of shit, including treason. Now, I know some people are going to say, oh, well, you know, first thing such a body did is fucking remove treason or whatever. There's ways of navigating your way through these situations and whatever, and do you know what I mean? It's pretty obvious realistically when people are fucking, the first thing they've done is try to make it so that you can't be done for treason, what their game was or whatever, realistically, knowing full well the next move that they're going to make is committing treason. Yeah. Now, that's all I'm saying, realistically. There's no point keep just turning up to fucking demonstration after demonstration, costing everyone an arm and a leg to get out and do these things, put themselves on the front line, people getting sacked because of it, people getting attacked because of it. You name it, there's risk to it. Now, why would you keep doing the same shit over and over and over again, realistically, to get the same result, where nothing gets achieved, nothing changes, you're just waking people up to no solution? To me, that's the definition of madness, and you would only continue doing that for not the best of reasons, let's say. Now, like I say, do you know what I mean? I'm going to put a link to what I've said, that video, CMW, the citizens arrest. So there's 3 links or whatever. Mull through it yourself, do you know what I mean? Make your own fucking mind up or whatever. For me, the decent people, the real patriots, will actually get behind something like this or whatever, and will unite around that. I think that's about it. I'm going to leave it there. Hope everyone's good. Hope everyone's well. Enjoy the weekend and stay safe.